All right, baby. It's Monday. You know it. Monday, February 23rd, 1999. Wouldn't that be nice? Back in the 90s. Last year of the 90s? Last year of the 90s was lit. 1999, we thought 2000 was going to be it. That was another one of those Y2K scares. 2000, the world. Oh, man. Zombie apocalypse. That was one of those. Seems to happen every 2 years. But it was fun. Prince had that 1999 song we were jamming out to every chance we got. It was a good year, 1999. Year before I graduated high school. I'm old. Yeah, 1999. Oh man, y'all missed out. If you missed it, you missed out. Last year in the 90s was lit. It was lit. 90s hip hop? Come on, man. We was winning. We was winning in 1999. I felt like we all got along in the 90s. I felt like we all got along. Racism was suppressed, was bottled up. We kept it to ourselves in the 90s for the most part. After that Rodney King thing, we was like, you know what? Maybe we should just keep this racism to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 2000s, 2026. Everybody letting everybody know. Oh, by the way, did you know that I don't like those people? Everybody letting everybody know. That's what we do in 2026, 1999. We kept that to ourselves, baby. But no, it is Monday, February 23rd, 2026. It is 2026. And yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Put in my 2 weeks at my job. Feel good about it. I feel fantastic about it. So I got a week left, baby. Gonna finish out this month and I'm gonna be on to the next. On to the next. J Hud is tapped in. What's up, J Hud? How we doing? Good morning. Good to see you. I've rearranged the studio a little bit, the captaincy, this area. We'll see how I like this setup right here. I feel like this needs to be lower though, because my island, I keep looking up. I don't like looking up. Let me just lower that. Let me just put that right there. You know what I'm saying? That feels better for me. That feels better for me. Yeah, yeah. I rearranged the studio, man. I got my new Roadcaster in. So if you've been following the stream, you've heard me crying and whining about breaking my Roadcaster. That happened. Broke that joint. Got a new Roadcaster in. Yesterday, I recorded kind of like how to build a studio for dummies, episode 1, when you break your stuff. So I unboxed the Rodecaster and set it up and got the first sound on that. And I'm gonna edit that. It's pretty much edited already. I might trim it a little bit, and I'm gonna post that on the YouTube channel. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, this getting things clean. So let's talk about 90s racism. Yeah, well, go ahead. What you want to talk about? Your divine thought for the week. Man, for the week just started. I don't have any divine thought yet, but I had so I've been talking about shadow, your shadow. As something like it's kind of my idea. Like people see me as my shadow. So it has became something that I've constantly been focused on, shadow work and my shadow. But this book came up on my algorithm, Carl Jung Shadow Work by Sarah Angelo. So I got that on Audible and I started listening to it and it kind of dawned on me. It was like maybe I don't really know what shadow work is, even though over the last maybe 5 or 6 years I've been aware of it. I've had a rough definition in my head, but I've kind of made it my own what shadow work is. I made it my own. So yeah, so the theme of this week is talking to your shadow, or whatever theme I put in. I can't remember. Talking to your shadow, looking at your shadow, whatever. It's gonna be shadow. I'm gonna talk about your shadow throughout the week, um, and we're gonna go from there. All right, let's see what these comments talking about. Hey, it's me again, the philosopher and the script writer. What's up, philosopher, script writer? Well, you're gonna love this week because we're talking about shadows. Our shadows. That's like deep diving stuff for a philosopher and a script writer. Man, let's talk about that. Last time you experienced racism? Oh, last time, last time, last time, my boy, yesterday. What I mean, last time I experienced racism, I live in America. Black people experience racism. We get used to racism. We experience the different levels of racism on a daily basis, and we get used to it and acclimate. So, like somebody that experiences racism every now and then, that's not affecting us because we're so used to being treated differently in America that there's levels to it. We experience it on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. We experience it on month to month. I just had this huge thing at my job where people villainized me at my job because of my energy, not because of how I did the job. People went out of their way to try to get me fired because of my energy. My energy. Last time, man, Black in America is wild, bro. What do you mean last time? Last time is crazy. Last time is crazy. At that time, Leroy, it was very in Anaheim. I don't know how it is. In Anaheim, well, so Anaheim is a number one, it's predominantly white area, but it's like they have very grounded, conservative uh views. Let's just say that. I mean, the the KKK has been known, and the Aryan Nation has been known to be in Anaheim. So I don't doubt that. I mean, American History X was about a story from that area, Orange County, Anaheim. So I don't doubt that was very. I'm saying the 90s felt to me, and now I was in high school, so we could definitely have a different experience. I did grow up in Tacoma, Washington. I grew up around a lot of white people, right? And I dealt with a lot of racism, but again, I was told and taught at a young age, like, listen, you're going to experience these things because you're Black, and this is how we're seen in this country. So you have to decipher what's worth it and what's not worth it. What's worth getting upset about and what's not getting upset about. What's worth ruining your day and what's not ruining your day. Because these things are going to happen. I was taught that at a very young age. Tacoma, Washington was a very liberal place. So even though I did experience things, I did feel accepted by most people, most white people in the when I was growing up. So um it just felt like after the 90s, like I felt like after the 90s, there's a period of time, like the first 5 years of the 2000s, felt like we're getting to a place. And then when Obama became president, it made people extremely upset, even though it was so empowering for a lot of people, minorities. I feel like when Obama became president, it lit a fire under people that see white supremacy as something that needs to be protected. That's just my opinion. I could be an idiot as well. These are just my opinions, and so um, please don't get upset about my opinions, but these are my opinions. Thought thoughts on reparations. Oh man, we are really hitting it. We're really hitting with the thoughts on reparations. Man, be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be nice? It'd be nice. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. But man, wouldn't that be nice to get a check? Like, hey, oh, you're black? Here's a check. Man, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Do I think black people should get reparations? I mean, yeah. You don't? You don't think so? Uh, did you have you seen have you seen what what was cracking back? Have you I mean, yeah, yeah. Something, a Starbucks gift card, something, like, yeah, yeah, I do think black people should get reparations. Do I think it's ever gonna happen? Don't hold your breath, my friends. Don't hold your breath. I'm gonna sit this one. Yeah, yeah, sit this one out. Sit this one out. They were mad. You look like Jawline takes people into deep waters and they discover themselves. You look like your jawline takes people. Are you complimenting me? Are you complimenting my jawline? Or are you throwing shade? I can't tell. I can't tell. Thoughts on affirmative action. Vic, man, you want to hear all my thoughts on the race stuff. Thoughts on affirmative action. I don't need it. I don't need it. I personally don't need it. I've learned I've learned that a lot of these very liberal affirmative action DI are ways for white lawmakers to feel like they're doing something good, but really they're still picking and choosing and I don't need it. I feel I don't need it. I'm not married to it, and I'm not getting emotional when it goes away. Now, I do think, those laws that were in place, and then another president or another, lawmaker comes in and is like, "Oh, we're getting rid of this," and then all those people lose their jobs. I think that's terrible, man. I think that's an awful way to treat your fellow Americans, and that's what has happened. Like getting rid of these programs that were put into place, and then firing the people that were working for X amount of years without like any kind of, okay, let's evaluate you. Like, were you the right person for this job? Are you equipped? Are you educated? And if they are, why not keep them in those jobs? You just gonna, bro, I feel the problem with certain presidents, especially with the president in office right now, is he doesn't treat everybody in this country like my fellow Americans. My fellow Americans. You're the president of the United States of America. All you should be the president, and you should see all Americans as your fellow Americans. He doesn't see it that way. So that's my thoughts. I honestly I don't hate the president. I don't like the president. I think the president is hilarious. I think he's an entertainer. I think he's missed his calling as being a stand-up comedian. Um, uh, I really am kind of I don't have any feeling about it other than, yeah, some of the thing a lot of the things that he's been doing as late can can uh can make me emotional if I let it. Like him tweeting a picture of the Obamas as apes. If I let that affect me and trigger me, I could get upset about that. I choose not to because I mean he's Donald Trump. He's been Donald Trump for a long time. He has not been anybody else other than Donald Trump. We put him here. We all did. My fellow Americans, we all did. We all put him here. Now we got to deal with the all of the things, good, bad, and ugly. And there is good, bad, and ugly about him as a president. There is. Some people, you know, get all upset at me saying that, but there is. There is. There's been some good stuff. There's been some good stuff. You know. Anyways, that's that. Definitely after Obama became president, they were mad. Yeah, I mean they got upset. They got mad. It lit a fire, man. They lit a fire. Have you ever had a bad experience with the police? I have. I have, man, but I've had okay, we're gonna go. This is gonna be the last political question, and then we're gonna talk about shadow work, and then I got a couple of other things that I want to bring on the podcast. Most of the bad experiences I've had with the police was while I was under the influence of alcohol. I'm telling you that because I'm also letting you know that the Leon Walker, the Yoga Leroy that you see is not and will never be a victim. So most of the situations I've had with the police was under the influence of alcohol. Now I have had a mistaken identity. I mean, if we're really going to talk about something that was a bad situation, I've had guns pulled out on me once because they thought I was somebody else. Because there was a disturbance in the apartment complex I lived at, and that they were the description was they were black. I was walking to my apartment, and they saw a black guy and they pulled out their guns, and then someone told them that's not him. He lives over there, and then they put their guns away. That happened. That's happened. But other situations that I've had with the police have always been um, when I was under the influence of alcohol and out of my mind, and yeah, creating that environment. So yeah. What else did I? Oh, I don't get pulled over. That's also something. Listen, listen. Um, People talk shit about the police. I On last night's stream, I talked about doing. And I used to be this guy too. I used to shit on the police all the time when I was young and dumb and playing the victim. I used to shit on the police. Two things that have, in the last couple of years, that have changed my perspective. I mean, my perspective has been changed for a while now, but but one thing is when I was selling cars, the only people that were good to me when I was selling cars, I talked about this in depth yesterday on the stream. The only people that were good to me, and it was out of a whole year, two people that gave me no problems, were nice, good conversation, connecting, just a very grounded transaction, were cops. Out of the entire year that I was selling cars, the two enjoyable sales that I had, everybody else was a fucking nightmare. Everybody, all you people that came into the dealership to buy cars from me, in 2025. Absolute nightmares. The only two people that weren't were cops. All right. So that's that. I used to, before I had my Bronco, I used to drive a bright orange Kia Stinger. I when I bought this car, I bought the car because it's my son's favorite color, and I love the color too. Now, this was a fun car to drive for. I had this car for 7 years. This was a fun car to drive. I got more compliments in that car than I've gotten ever in my life. And people would stop me to ask me, "What kind of car is that? What that color? This." Oh man! And when I bought the car, they couldn't sell the car because they said nobody wants to buy this car because they think it's a cop magnet. Now, I didn't, out of 7 years, I didn't get one speeding ticket. Now, I've crashed the car 3 times. It was like 3 or 4 times because I was having fun in the car. But I didn't get one speeding ticket while I was in that car. I never got pulled over. I don't get pulled over. I live in Los Angeles, California, where people are supposed to be, where cops are supposed to be evil and terrible and hate blacks. I don't ever get pulled over. I've had one ticket. you know, I did just get a ticket like last year, but I don't really get pulled over. I don't get a lot of speeding tickets. So if that answers your question, I don't hate the police. I think we need the police. We some areas we need more of the police. My thoughts of defunding the police have changed dramatically since 2020. You know, um, I think a lot of our thoughts, Black people's thoughts on like defunding the police, things like that, when it comes to the BLM movement, were really thoughts rooted in like emotion because of some things that were happening because of a couple bad apples. Uh, it was emotional response, and yeah, hopefully we get some leadership that that aren't like ridiculous human beings. Like one of these days. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. Since we are on, it's so funny that we're talking about this because I did bring I'm not a big political person, bro. Like I'm not a big political person, but there is something that I saw that since we're talking about this, I have decided to start bringing like trending things on and talking about them on the podcast. And I do have something political to talk about. And since we are on the political topic, I'm gonna get right into it. But where I experienced and feel was because of the LAPD profiling. Um, Come on, Leroy. That's where we may disagree. Yeah, we might. Again, this is my from my experience, and I understand that we all kind of had or have a different experience. Even Black people, like Black people, have a different experience throughout this life, and that kind of caters like how emotional attached we are to certain events and certain groups of people and certain positions in life. Me, I I don't feel like I get profiled by the police. I haven't felt that in an extremely long time. I've lived in California. I've lived in Los Angeles. Well, the Valley. It's not. Los Angeles is different than the Valley. Los Angeles is different from like Los Angeles, and that's what people don't understand. Like, I honestly feel like I'm not even in Los Angeles. I live over the hill. I live north of the 10. South of the 10 is totally different. There's a lot more Black people. And the vibes are different. Every place in LA, but really in California, that's kind of the crazy thing about California. You could go 3 blocks down and it could feel like you're in a totally different state because there's so many different cultures, there's so many different, you know, communities. There's so many different languages here. There's so many different ideas here. Yes, this might be a more democratic place, but there's a lot of conservatives here as well. There's a lot of Hispanics that are conservative. A large amount of people voted for Trump, Hispanic. You know, there was a large amount of Black people that voted for Trump. So, um, LA is LA is different. LA is a different type of place. And it's why I love it here. It's why I don't think I could ever leave because I love diversity. I love culture. I don't travel outside of the country. So this is where I get my culture by living in Los Angeles. So I I'm okay with you not, especially Jay Hud, somebody that I've built a nice little relationship from this stream. I understand that you might have had a different experience. I'm just really talking about from my experience. I have not had bad experiences with the police since I stopped drinking. If I'm gonna be totally honest with you, since I stopped drinking, I haven't had bad experiences with the police. Now, when I was drinking, sometimes I would have bad experiences with the police and I was sober, but I also was wishing a mother effer would on a regular basis when I was drinking. I was walking around head on a swivel, couldn't wait for something to pop off. So I was a different person than I am today. Let's get back to this because I have this came up on my my Facebook, and we're talking about politics. So why not talk about your guy, Gavin Newsom? A lot of people are picking him to be the next president of the United States or have a good shot at it. Now, why is it that every time a white politician sits with a black person, they try to relate to that black person in such a demeaning and disrespectful way, but without even knowing that they're doing it. Now, when I read this, Gavin Newsom says he relates to black people. I'm a 960 SAT guy, I cannot read. When I read that, I didn't believe it. I was like, yeah, that's just clickbait. He didn't really say that. Um, I gotta see the video. So I found the video. It was worse than just that. It was worse than just that. It really was. He said, and if you watch the video, he said, I'm just like you. I have bad SAT scores and I can't read. Now, I didn't watch the whole video. Let me play devil's advocate here. Because this could be taken out of context. The only way this makes sense for me is if this guy said, um, I can't read in this interview, maybe earlier in the interview. I didn't have time to watch the whole video. I'm probably not gonna watch the whole video, but a lot of things do get misconstrued like that. Maybe he did say, um, I can't read or I have a low SAT score early in the interview. So that's like me playing a little devil's advocate there. But Gavin Newsom has done this before. Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, they all do this. They all pander to black people as if, we feel better because you can't read. That's silly. Why would that make me feel better to hear that you can't read? Bro, I want my leaders to be able to read. Well, maybe you should learn how to read, Gavin Newsom. Come on. Maybe you should learn how to read. Why would I want, bro? We already got, the orange dummy in the. Come on, bro. Like, why would why would I need another dummy as a leader? That's not. Let's just, aside from, let's not even make it about race. Let's just make it about who we need to be in leadership, not somebody that can't read. You can't read your, what are we doing, America? My fellow Americans, what are we? Why? What are we doing? Learn how to read, Gavin Newsom. That's number one. Like, bro, you got a couple years till you run for president. You going on all these campaign runs, you going on the Black podcast, you're doing all the things and all that, and cool. Learn how to read. Let's start a petition today that Gavin Newsom learns how to read so he could never go on another Black podcast and be like, I'm just like you, I can't read either. Man, what the hell are we doing? All right, bro. That's it for the political stuff, man. That's it for me. That's it for me. But we did dive into something that I am going to start doing, which is bringing a couple of topics, trending topics, onto the pod. Hold on, let me say bye to my wife. A great day. She just left for work. But before we get into that, I want to talk to you guys about shadow work real fast because it has been something I've been looking into, trying to, understand and trying to, discover within myself over the last few years shadow work. And something came up on my Instagram feed, Carl Jung's a book about Carl Jung's shadow work by Sarah Angelo, and I listened to it last night. It was something. I didn't really connect to it, but it did make me go like, do I really know what shadow work is? Like, do I really understand it? I understand. I kind of understand. I've been understanding shadow work in regards to like the negative, almost in a judgmental way, like all the negative things about me that other people see. Because I feel like a lot of people see me as this intimidating, outspoken, maybe, not very, just angry sometimes, my job, a lot of people at my job say I have bad energy, bad bar energy, standoffish, judgmental. So I've kind of, I honestly think people see me more as my shadow than they see me as who I truly am. I think my shadow kind of shows up more. I don't know why that is. Um, because those things aren't me, but I've always had that experience, because I've always been kind of quiet and shy and blah blah blah. So as uh people take that as somebody that's arrogant. You look soft. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Not trying to look hard per se. I am a 44-year-old man trying to raise a 16-year-old son, build a business, have a good marriage, and expand on relationships. So looking soft is actually something that I can I value, looking soft rather than looking hard. Looking hard doesn't really serve me anymore. Um, I thought it served me as a young person. I really did. I thought looking hard was that served me as a young person. I was in my 20s when I was playing football and things of that nature. But in hindsight, it never really did. So You saying I look soft is a little bit of a compliment. I appreciate you, Axel Foley, 1128, Axel Foley, which is Beverly Hills Cops, Eddie Murphy, one of my all-time favorites. Um, we have some things in common if you would just come on here and not hate on a brother. But you know, that's what a troll does. He comes on here and hate. And hey, let me tell you, I offer you this. If you really think, if you really feel strongly about me looking soft, pull up. Check my temperature, my friend. Get off the internet, pull up, check my temperature, drop your location, you know what I'm saying? And you could check my temperature, man. I'm a real man. You understand me? I don't give a damn what you think I look like. I'm a real life man. You could check my temperature anytime. I promise you. I'll match whatever you got going on. Anyways, let's move on, baby. Let's move on. Harder, better, faster, stronger is a government psyop song for brainwashing. Is that so? That's wild. Little fun fact right there. All right. All right. So let's get back to shadow work. So yesterday, yesterday, uh Axel Foley, I would hate to have to ban you from the stream, man. You know, so just let's just play nice. All right. I'm still talking about what you spoke about. I'm just responding. So let's play nice. Okay. You got one last time, my friend. I know how to block. It's a great thing. It's like my only way of feeling like I'm playing a video game. So so if you're gonna say something productive, constructive, or encouraging. If you don't have any of that going on, you get one or two shots, and I'm gonna get you up out of here. It is nothing to me. Actually, you got something else going on. Yeah, Jay, let him know. So shadow work, man. All right. So I listened to Sarah Angelo's book on Carl Jung's shadow work. I realized that Carl Jung, who is kind of like the founder of shadow work, so he's kind of a big deal in the shadow work community, you know. So I realized it's like, man, I don't really know. I got my own ideas of what shadow work is based on like the things I picked up, but I don't really truly understand what it is. So maybe I should dive a little deeper. So I want to read you Carl Jung's shadow work definition. The shadow is part of the psyche that contains everything you repress, deny, or disown because it didn't feel acceptable, safe, or rewarded growing up. All right. So like anger, you were told it's too much. Desire, you were told was wrong. Confidence, arrogant, creativity, impractical, vulnerability. You're a man, you're soft. Like what's his name? Oh, you're soft. You're soft. You cry, you're soft. So, you know, sensitivity could be in your shadow. So that's Carl Jung's shadow, and man, I mean, there's just it's there's so much there. Now, another good resource if you are interested in learning more about like what shadow work is, diving a little deeper into your shadow, Teal Swan, who is a spiritual advisor that I've known for a long time. She has a huge following on social media platforms, especially YouTube. And she defines shadow work and breaks it down a little bit um, more, digestible, in my opinion. And it's based on Carl Jung's, you know, ideas of shadow work, but she breaks it down more of a like emotionally and the traumatic things that have happened throughout your life. She breaks shadow work down. Um, so that's shadow work. We're gonna be talking about it throughout. I love this string. Nice. I love you being on this string. Appreciate it. Axel Foley, can you learn from Fortnite, how to be a healthy participant on the string? Let me borrow them eyeballs. That's funny. You can have them, man. I don't really need them anymore, man. I mean, they did serve me back in the day. Back in the day when I was wild, young, and free out in these streets, they did serve me. But at this stage of my life, married, got a kid, got a house, working on a business, not really thinking about nothing else. They don't really, you can have 'em. You can have 'em. I got a compliment the other day. A group of girls complimented me on my eyeballs the other day at the bar, and you know what? It just didn't hit the same. It's just they're wasted on me. You can have them. They're wasted on me. I'm telling you. Face blue, smiling. Okay. What was anger again? What? Just ask. Just answer. What? Just study the Bible. Not Axel Foley telling us how to get better in life. Somebody that jumps on a random person's stream just to try to put them down. Not Axel Foley operating from a toxic place, telling people how to be better in life. This is why Christians have a bad rap because people like you, do you see? You don't see, and you will not see. This is just how you operate. So we'll move on. Because when you ain't shit, you just ain't shit. And that's just a fun fact. Just ask. No, I don't know what you're talking about, DK. But you're spamming a little bit. You're getting a little carried away. You're getting a little carried away, DK. It might be in my first little block. I don't know what you're talking about. Anger in the shadow. Anger is in the shadow. It's mostly in the shadow. Anger is one of the ones that comes up in the shadow the most when people um talk about shadow work and things like that. Um, because it's when surface level shadow work is undesirable emotions, anger, jealous, and these are the things that I've been consistently talking about. Now I'm going to dive a little deeper because it's more, but these are the things that stand out within me. So these are the things that I've been addressing in my life: anger, resentment, jealousy, things that um that you hide within yourself. We all experience these emotions, but most of us feel shame for them because society tells you that these things are terrible things about you. And that's why they call it shadow work. And it's all false. It's all false. These aren't bad things. These are you. It's a part of you. It's a part of your psyche, your ego, your being, right? And I'm trying to discover if suppressing certain places of me is what is kind of blocking me and holding me back. And that's what I'm looking to discover. I have a nice eye color. You look like gangster. Alrighty. That is what I'm trying to discover. Okay. Man, we've had a good stream today, J Hud, haven't we? We've been going 45 minutes. I do have one more topic to discuss. J Hud, I think you're gonna like this one. Not necessarily like it. It might trigger you. It's triggered me. Um, Leroy, most of the people get on here talking goofy, wake up losing their mind and mad. Yeah, yeah, I've noticed that about the internet. I'm starting to accept the internet for what it is. Um, And it is unfortunate that we as a race of people operate like that. I explain the internet like driving a car. You're not the same person when you're driving as you are when you're walking on the sidewalk amongst people. You're not the same person. And the internet is similar. You're not the same person when you're behind the keyboard and nobody's around and you get to type wherever you want. You're not the same person. You feel like you have a little bit more freedom to uh say wild stuff. You look crispy today. Hey, listen, appreciate it. I appreciate it. Uh, thanks for that little comment, I guess. Thanks a lot. So yeah, it is what it is. But we got. It looks like Axel Foley. He either he got up out of here, or he figured he figured it out that this wasn't the chat to, you know. I wasn't gonna. I'm just not gonna like a lot of the trolls that come on here. I realize they add these comments to get you to crash out. Like that's their prize. So they're looking for their prize. They're looking for somebody to crash out from some comment that has like you. This is the internet, man. I'm on this side of the internet. You don't know who I am truly, so why should a little comment, especially a visual comment, you look soft, okay, why should that affect me? It shouldn't. But we are a very sensitive group of people. So that's why a lot of these trolls get the reaction that they're looking for because they know how sensitive we are, especially the people that are putting themselves out there doing streams and trying to build a community, which I am. Put yourself out there, and it's vulnerable. I'm talking about a lot of things on here. I'm really talking about my life on here, on this stream. That used to be 30 minutes, now it's going to be an hour. I'm talking about a lot of things, so it's a vulnerable thing. And I've learned out of the 2.5, 3 months I've been doing this stream, if I'm going to be this vulnerable, I can't get I can't be sensitive because I am putting myself out there, and it comes with it's good and it's bad. One good thing about putting myself out there, I found good relationships on here on the internet, like Jay Hud. You know what I'm saying? One bad thing is people come on and they talk wild and they try to get you out of character. Trolls do keep it interesting. I do agree with you on that. I have learned so tonight I have my comedy fitness live, uh a comedy riffing show that um is going to happen at 7:30 tonight, every Monday, 7:30. Last week, I accidentally streamed it on this channel and not the Comedy Fitness Live channel. And I realized I need to be streaming it on this channel as well as Comedy Fitness Live channel. Last week, I had nothing but people saying that we were not funny. And as much as that hurt my feelings, it really does. It hurts. It hurts so bad. I was like, I need the trolls. I need something to drive this chat to help build. And unfortunately, the people that are the loudest are the people that criticize and make fun and tell you you're not funny, go get a real job and all that. And that just is what it is. Your job is to ignore the people, the better. There's no community. They're just random people scrolling. So use that. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I'm getting better at it. I'm really new at this streaming thing, but I see a lot of value here. I do think I can eventually build a nice little community. Um, if I could stay consistent. So I'm not gonna give up on it. And yeah, I just gotta take away the emotion when it comes to that because it's gonna happen. It is the internet. What are you gonna do? Words can only affect you in a negative way if you allow them to. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And sometimes it's hard to not take the bait, depending on where you are emotionally. All right, we got 10 more minutes left. I'm gonna bring on my last thing that I did want to talk about, and it is kind of political. Oh, we already did that one. It is kind of political. It is this thing that happened at this award show. Uh, Jay, I don't know if you're still here, but Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presenting an award, and this person that is an advocate for Tourette's yelled out the N word. And yeah, this is starting to go viral, and it's very hard for me to understand why this kind of is even happening. I want to get this guy's name. It is upsetting. I mean, we talk about triggers, like this is like kind of upsetting. Like this is a thing that doesn't happen to white people at all. Like this is an experience that that only black people experience, where we have to kind of adjust to, like, for instance, so like here's my thing, like, if 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 the N word is one of your ticks and you have Tourette's, maybe you should step out of the room when black people are on stage. Maybe you should remove yourself. Why is Tourette's avocation a thing right now? Why are these like a marginalized group of people? I've noticed this happening a little bit more. Like, oh, like Tourette's rights or something. Like, why are you even there? Like, why are you even there? Like, this just feels like a thing that, like, and in all honesty, I think this guy is a Tourette's advocate. What is his name? I gotta find out his name. His name's Michael something. Uh, I think this is bad for the Tourette's community. You know, it's like you got Tourette's, so we're just supposed to put up with you just yelling the N word at any given time. You're a Tourette's advocate. If you're a Tourette's advocate, you should know how to move without doing something that's going to create extreme negativity on your community. I think this is terrible for the Tourette's community. But yeah, it is very upsetting. Uh, and we talk about being triggered. If you saw this in real life, Michael B. Jordan and Del Rey Lindo, who are people that I admire a great deal, especially Del Rey. I mean, he's the big uncle I wish I had. They handled themselves. They did not react. They were grounded. They kept moving. They didn't make it a thing. And on with the show. You talk about not being triggered when something absolutely ridiculous happens. I think, I think, I think this is a bigger topic of like, okay, now what do we do with y'all? What do we do with y'all? What do we do with y'all people that got Tourette's? Because we want to include you, but your your advocate, your Tourette's advocate, is showing the world why you shouldn't be included. Because man, listen, if you can say the N word in a public forum at a award show, if you could just say the N word, who else can say it? Who else? Who else? A lot of people are coming out and saying they don't think it was, they think it was on purpose. Like this is gonna start a huge conversation. Um, I think it's a bad look for the Tourette's community. And that's your person. That's your advocate. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments, man? This is something that kind of triggered me. And it only happens. These are the type of things that only happen to black people. Only happen to black people. You know, number one, nobody has a more fire racial slur than us. We are number one. We are holding it down. Even the other worst racial slurs have our racial slur in their racial slur, like saying N word. You know, all the top. We're like the number one. Like nobody comes close to having a worse racial slur than us. So simple, too deep. What's going on? Beautiful eyes. Love it. As a white man, I think it's disgraceful to be racist that you hide behind that. Appreciate that, my white brother. Delicious answer. Me and use my real voice. This is my real voice. I swear. What would be my real voice? This is my real voice. For real. I'm using it. Using the real voice. This is my real voice. All right. A lot of unexpected things. But I was talking about code switching the other day with my son. Um, this is my real voice though. Uh, do I play Overwatch? I don't know what that is. I don't play games. I'm a grown man. We were talking about code switching. I don't code switch anymore. I use my real voice all the time. I do have different voices that I use on stage, but they are a part of my voice. My voice changes when I get emotional or happy, or my voice. I've noticed my voice changes and the way I talk changes a little bit. But this is how I talk. Um, but yeah, code switching. That's like a that's a term that we all use now. It's so interesting. It used to just be a black term. Now white people talk about they code switch, and y'all don't code switch. Y'all don't code switch. Y'all need to stop. Y'all don't code switch, man. Like code switching is something you have to do, not something you want to do. It's something you have to do. Black people have to code switch. That's the difference. Stop it. Stop it. I'm so tired of y'all. White people code switching. If y'all don't get up out of here with that. All right, man. Hey, this has been a really fun episode of the stream. I appreciate everybody, even Axel Foley that came in here with a little bit of noise. This has been a really fun stream, really fun episode. We hit an hour. Um, and what I'm gonna start doing is exactly what I did today. I'm gonna start bringing in little trending things that might have triggered me, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit for the second half of the stream. Let me get this comment real fast. I'm in huge trouble. The cops are chasing me, and I might have to flee California tomorrow morning to Israel to escape imprisonment. Hey, we better get a move on, my boy, because they gonna find you. I mean, what's that betting app? What's that betting app where you could bet? Like, let's put this dude on. What's it called? Kaisha or something. Let's put this dude on that app and let's bet who, like, if he gets caught, if they get him before he gets to Israel, because you're not gonna make it to Israel, man. These cops is good. They get their man. I'm telling you, they do every time. LA cops is out here. They ain't got nothing else to do but find you. So you better get a move on, my boy. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't cap, Brian. You better get to Israel though. It's crazy. Escaping to Israel. All right, man. This has been a good time, man. Hey, thanks everybody for jumping in the chat. Jay Hud, appreciate you as always. So simple 2D. Uh, uh, Mark, thanks for your comment. Ricardo, appreciate the feedback. Uh, 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 all the compliments. Um, appreciate it. DK, you was tripping on here, but it's fine. Axel Foley, you was also tripping on here, but it's fine. That's part of it. Fortnite God, I appreciate you for jumping on. And if I missed anybody, I appreciate you guys. Damo jumped on real fast. Appreciate you, brother. Good friend of mine. Stayed out of the political comments. I also appreciate that because he knew. He knew. Today wasn't his day. All right, man. I got some things I gotta do. Get prepared for tonight's show. We are back here at 7:30 Comedy Fitness Live. Got a good group of funny comedians that are going to tell jokes and riff off of Instagram Reels and Steals. Is a fun show. If you were around, please jump in and throw me a like, throw me a nice comment. How about that? If you do jump on, throw me a nice comment. I get so many mean comments on this stream, not this stream, on my Comedy Fitness Live stream. Now, I will say it is a workout comedy show. So we're not bringing a lot of material to the stage. We are riffing. So, a lot of people are like, oh, you guys aren't funny, blah, blah, blah. And it's a workout. This is a show to help us get stronger, to learn, or sharpen the tool of being funny in the moment. It's a riffing show. So I don't know. Maybe keep that in mind when you jump on and you don't think we're as funny as you want us to be. All right, we got some Jesus stuff going on in the chat. Free Palestine. Okay. If they chasing you, bro, go to this time. Yeah, man, you better get up out of here. I love Jason. Play my own game. This has been fun. We got Grand Theft Auto chat. It's been a fun chat. It's been a fun stream, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Got some editing and stuff to do. And hope you guys have a really strong, powerful Monday. I'm a big fan of Mondays. Mondays is my favorite, man, because you got a chance to set the tone. You hear me? Set the tone today. Okay. Pull up with that energy for the rest of the 7 days with that energy. That thing that you were putting aside, that thing that you haven't been getting to, the thing that you've been laxing on, do it. Do it now. Do it right now. Do it right now. Or do it in 15 minutes. Set a timer. I'm doing this in 15 minutes. Do Get it done. Set the tone today for the next 7 days and keep that same energy, baby. Keep that same energy all week. All right, man. Hope you guys tune in tonight, 7:30 Comedy Fitness Live. If not, we are back on the stream tomorrow. Triggered Yogi live stream every day, 9 a.m. Please, if you don't mind, drop me a subscription sub to the channel. And I'll see you soon. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Peace.